Hi everyone, my name is Savannah Funk, and the book I read was The Help. So for my multimedia project, I'm doing something similar to a podcast by doing a Socratic seminar type thing with my mom, my grandma, and my grandfather. And within the Socratic seminar, obviously, I am not presenting just one issue, I'm presenting multiple, as well as various viewpoints. And you will hear the elements of an argument through each person's stance on the issue, as well as their evidence, and you will also hear counter arguments by different people as we discuss the different topics. So let's get started. One of the characters, Miss Skeeter, was looking for a job in writing. As she glanced at the columns, there were dozens of offerings for men and only 2 for women. How do we still face gender inequality today, especially with the hot topic of dress code? And what's your opinion on this?
I have this teacher that, where I work, she comes in all the time, and she finally left that school and went to another school because the principal of the school was a man, and he made all the women teachers wear high heels as the dress code. And they had to stand on their feet all day in high heels. How can somebody get away with that in this day and age?
Exactly. Yeah. And I feel like one reason could be it looks nice, but at the same time, teachers should be able to wear what they want to make them comfortable. Exactly. And men could do that, but women couldn't.
Right.
So yeah.
Well, and it's not equal because you can't have the men wear high heels.
Well, no, but
and they do hurt your feet.
But yeah.
But did the men have to wear suits?
I'm sure they probably had to wear,
or just shirts.
I'm sure there was some sort of a dress code. This was just about the high heels, which didn't make any sense to me.
I would just be barefoot.
Yeah.
well, that's a hygiene issue.
Well, when I worked, when we had to wear nylons and we had to wear heels and we had to wear dresses, then it evolved to nice dress pants with jackets.
Right.
So I think we've come a long way.
Yes, exactly.
Couldn't wear pants.
Yeah.
Right, couldn't wear pants.
Yeah.
And when I went to school, you couldn't wear pants. You wore dresses to school.
And
this was in the 60s. High school and middle, what you call middle school, we call junior high.
Yeah. In schools in general, girls are getting mad because we can't wear tank tops because guys will stare at our shoulders or, and so it makes us angry because it's why don't you teach guys to not look at us that way so we can wear what we want to. And it's not a tank top isn't scandalous or anything, it's just a tank top,
and it's cooler.
I disagree to some level.
Okay.
Because I feel like you also don't need distractions. Okay, you're there to learn, and then you also have to draw the line somewhere because sometimes people will wear things that are completely inappropriate. It's hard to focus.
No, I know.
They have body parts that are out for viewing, and so I think they try to restrict things that allow that to happen, which a lot of times are tank tops.
It's weird because it feels like there's a lot more restrictions on girls than guys.
I agree.
And
I agree.
Well, I mean, I don't think many guys are trying to come shirtless, wearing tank tops or off the shoulder.
What about sagging?
Yeah, that's true. That is. I saw a guy in Target.
What's that?
He was.
It's where your
pants come down.
you can see their underwear.
Laundry detergent, and I looked over, and he was unpacking boxes to stock the shelves, and he was bent over, and I saw his half of his behind.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it should apply to men too. You're right. To boys,
Right.
it should be able. But I think there is a rule.
There is, but they don't stop as many people. On girls, they're super strict. We can go next question. In The Help, the story is told in multiple viewpoints so that we can receive many sides of the story. What are some instances today that experience 2 sides? I saw it this way, and this person saw it this way. Because in The Help, the white women think they're right, and then the maids think they're right. So what's something today that is widely known that experiences?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's the whole core of the problem is perspective.
Yes.
That people don't have the ability to see things from another's point of view, which is what's really necessary to come to some kind of place of working things out, compromise.
Yeah.
So I do think, and so much shapes your point of view. you know, how you were brought up.
Exactly.
You know, but one thing that we've talked about is, you know, I mean, I loved my grandparents very much, but there were some words and things that they used that I thought when they were gone, I hope I never have to hear this word again because it's demeaning and something, you know, and I hope that I raise my kids to where they are colorblind, much like Martin Luther King's speech, you know, but they grew up in a different situation than I did. So I see where some things come from your perspective, but I think the most important thing is seeing things from another point of view, because without that there's no compromise.
Exactly. And that's why there was wars.
But
because people can't see.
Well, but it's kind of like a movie that your dad and I watched the other night called Wind River. I didn't realize that there is no statistics kept on missing persons for Native American women who live on Indian reservations.
Right.
And that there's some duality there where if a person that doesn't live on the reservation comes on the Indian reservation and commits a crime, like let's say the rape of a woman, but then leaves the reservation, he can't be prosecuted. Right. Okay? And but if the same thing were to happen, like if a woman that lives off the reservation came onto the reservation and were raped and then left, not only would the Native American authorities and also the state police or the local police would have authority, so they could get dual prosecuted. So so that was an example of something I didn't know.
Yeah, and I feel like you're right about how a lot of things take root in perspective. Perspective is kind of the core of a lot of things, and I feel like it's kind of hard sometimes because people will lie. Then when you look at their perspective, you don't know if they're being true. Okay, next question. One dominant reason for bullying is jealousy. In The Help, Miss Celia is not treated kindly by her friends because she is very pretty, and her friends are envious of her. Do you agree that if we as people worked on self-confidence instead of comparison, that less bullying would occur, and why?
That's a good question. Yeah, I do believe that. We as people here in the United States, with the commercials and the ads and everything's kind of based on comparison is a good word, but it's based on looks and who's got what, and having more is better rather than on building the inner person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I feel like in these recent years, you know, people will say, hey, it's 2017. That saying is so powerful because I feel like we're definitely coming to a place in history that we're focusing more on equality. I know that's like not always the case, but like probably the best it's been. Well, I know like, you know, exceptions, but as a whole, I feel like kind of embracing equality. And, you know, I'll look on Instagram and there's a lot of models that are promoting, you know, self-confidence because they have their platform and they want to speak out. And I feel like modeling has definitely been something that is a symbol of comparison, just because the modeling world tries to promote an image of something that's ideal and everybody wants to look like that, but then you compare yourself and you want to look the best, and then you're focusing on what doesn't even matter anymore. And then you can potentially get unhealthy. You know, there's people going anorexic for it, or that are anorexic just to look a certain way, try and eat a lot to look a certain way, and I feel like it kind of takes away from like your life and you're not happy. And even if you look happy, there's not a guarantee that you'll be happy if you just look
like we were talking about earlier about drugs. That a lot of people will take drugs just to make themselves happier or to
temporarily,
or to cushion themselves so they can be in their own different world.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Thank y'all. Thank you all so much for watching, and hopefully you received some new perspectives on many of the issues that I presented from The Help. I encourage you to also discuss and deeply think about any issues that you may have, no matter how big or small. Bye.